Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to pull out the key nuggets of knowledge so you get well-informed, fast.
And today we're doing something a bit different.
Yeah, we're looking at semaglutide, which many people know, but not just the surface stuff about weight loss.
Exactly. We're diving into the work of Dan Hollis, who has this really insightful way of looking at it. It's about hunger, habits, even healing.
Right. Our mission today is to really extract the core ideas from his manifesto and related stuff, how this medication can actually be a catalyst for something, well, deeper, more human.
That's the key phrase right there from Hollis. Not a drug journey, it's a human one. That's his starting point.
Okay, unpack that a bit. Human journey, what does that mean in this context?
It means, while semaglutide is, a powerful tool, its real significance, according to Hollis, is how it changes your brain's relationship with hunger and with satisfaction, reward. All those pathways.
So it's an internal shift he's talking about.
Absolutely. And that shift, he says, can be freeing, definitely.
Yeah.
But also maybe a little unsettling, challenging.
Right, because you're dealing with something fundamental changing.
Precisely. Which is why he really emphasizes the need for actual human support, education, guidance, stuff that goes way beyond just getting the prescription.
So it's not just take this pill and you're fixed.
Not at all. It's like you're getting this medication, yes, but you're also getting this opportunity, a chance to sort of relearn things.
Which must be huge for people who've struggled for ages, right?
Right.
Because the old message was always about willpower, discipline.
Oh, completely. And Hollis directly tackles that. He says, quite bluntly, willpower was never the problem.
Okay, I love that. Why wasn't it the problem then?
Well, think about it. If pure willpower was enough, wouldn't we all, achieve our goals easily?
Huh, fair point.
His perspective is that our biology, our emotions, these really deep habit loops we have, they're often working against us, silently, in the background.
So you're fighting an unseen battle.
Kind of, yeah. So effective change, he argues, comes from insight, from having a structure, from using tools that actually work with your biology, not against it.
That sounds way more hopeful and less judgmental.
Totally. It connects to his other big idea. There is no shame here, only process. It's a really compassionate viewpoint.
So the message is, you're not broken, you're not lazy, you're just navigating some really complex stuff. Biological pressures, cultural ones.
Exactly. Things maybe nobody ever really explained properly. His work is about hitting reset, but also resetting how you see yourself in this whole process.
Okay, so if it's not willpower, what is the core issue Hollis points to? You mentioned hunger earlier.
Right. He talks about emotional hunger, and he defines it very specifically.
Emotional hunger, that term gets thrown around a lot. How does he frame it?
He says it's distinct from physical hunger. It's emotional weight as much as it is physical weight.
Emotional weight, meaning?
Meaning we often eat because of feelings. Anxiety, loneliness, boredom, maybe being overwhelmed or just lacking support. Not because our stomach is actually empty. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, and here's the really interesting bit. He says emotional hunger often sounds like a craving. You think you want chocolate or chips or whatever, but he says it's actually a question, a need asking to be seen.
Wow. Okay, so the craving is like a symptom, a mislabeled signal.
Exactly. You might reach for food, but what you actually need might be rest or connection or comfort or just clarity.
So instead of fighting the craving,
you decode it. You ask, what's really going on here? What's the question behind this feeling?
And this is where the medication, semaglutide Ozempic, Wegovy, fits into this deeper picture.
Right. Because its main strength, in Hollis's view, isn't just making you less hungry physically.
Okay.
It's that it quiets down the biological noise.
Yeah.
All that constant chatter in your head about food, those intense cravings.
It dials down the volume.
Precisely. It creates what he calls a silence, or a biological pause, a window.
A window. To do what?
To finally hear that emotional hunger. To actually address the underlying needs without the static of constant physical craving. So the medication creates the space.
Yeah, an opportunity. A chance to rebuild things.
Yeah.
Your identity around food, your behaviors, your emotional awareness. Because the cravings aren't screaming so loudly anymore.
But he also mentions this can feel exposing.
He does. He says, when food stops being your emotional scaffolding, you don't just feel lighter, you feel exposed.
That sounds a bit scary.
It can be, maybe. But Hollis frames it positively. That feeling of exposure, that is the work. That's where the real transformation happens.
Ah, okay. So it's not a side effect to avoid, it's the starting point for rebuilding.
Exactly. It's the moment you get to face those unmet needs that food might have been papering over for years.
So this whole process, it's definitely not just about losing weight quickly.
Hmm.
It's about self-discovery, almost, in that quiet space.
You got it. The medication gives you the quiet, but the work, the rewriting of the script, that's on you, with support, of course.
Which leads to his point that this isn't a quick fix. He stresses that the real work begins after the medication,
Right.
or maybe alongside it, building for the future.
Absolutely, because semaglutide isn't usually a forever thing. So you need a plan. You need to build habits that stick, habits that work beyond the medication.
Otherwise, the old patterns just creep back in.
They can, yeah. Old triggers, old habits, they're waiting. And he specifically warns about fast weight loss without metabolic pacing.
Metabolic pacing, what's that?
Basically, losing weight too quickly can mess with your metabolism, slow it down. You can lose muscle mass, too.
Which makes it harder to keep the weight off long term.
Exactly, so it needs to be paced, sustainable. Thinking about nutrition, habits, in a way your body can actually keep up with.
So how does he suggest we actually deal with cravings when they do pop up, even with the medication? Not fight them, you said.
Right. Not fight them, decode them, see them as messengers.
Messengers carrying what message?
Carrying information about what you might truly need. He links that emotional hunger often to what he calls identity disconnection.
Identity disconnection.
Yeah, like losing touch with yourself. Your real needs. What genuinely nourishes you, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. Food becomes a stand-in.
That's a really profound way to look at it. It's not about the snack, it's about maybe feeling lost.
It could be, which loops back to his core belief. You don't hold on to weight loss with discipline, you hold on to it with alignment.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Meaning being in tune with those deeper needs and meeting them directly.
Yes. Shifting the focus from battling the urge to eat to understanding the why behind the urge, and then finding healthier, more authentic ways to address that why. Replacing the underlying story, not just the immediate action.
It sounds much more empathetic towards yourself.
It really is. It encourages awareness, curiosity, moving away from self-judgment, rigid rules, all that stuff that often backfires.
So asking the question behind the craving. Using insight, not just impulse.
Spot on.
So wrapping this up, what Dan Hollis is offering, it's not just another diet. It's not just here's your shot.
No, definitely not. He calls it a conversation, not a prescription.
A conversation.
Yeah.
With yourself, with your body.
Yes, and with food. And ideally with supportive guides on the journey. It's about building relationships. Yeah. Starting from a place of understanding, of alignment.
Instead of that cycle of starting over with shame every time something doesn't work perfectly.
Exactly. It's about starting right, as he puts it. Finding your way back to yourself, really.
Okay, so let's bring this deep dive home. The big takeaway seems to be that semaglutide, seen through this Hollis lens, isn't just a weight loss tool.
Right. It's more like this miracle pause, maybe. This unexpected window opening up.
A window for real self-discovery.
Yeah.
For potentially lasting change.
That's the potential, yeah. An unprecedented opportunity if you approach it that way.
So let's leave our listeners with something to chew on, so to speak.
Okay.
If the biological noise is quieter for you now, maybe because of medication, maybe through other work you're doing.
Yeah.
If those intense physical cravings have stepped back.
What are you truly hungry for? Yeah.
What's underneath? What really needs support or understanding or alignment in your life now that food isn't automatically filling that space?
That's the real question, isn't it?